Hello, my friends, family, esteemed colleagues. I have been asked by friends to make a video about multiple sclerosis. Now, I know that, or I'm sure that I must have done video about this so-called disease in the past. I have several hundred videos out there, but neither to mention, I'm going to make one now because it gives another opportunity to destroy this so-called medical system and show how ridiculous is this soyence of madsin. Just by the name of it, multiple sclerosis. Now, when you talk about sclerosis, scleros, in Old Greek, it means hard. Okay, so usually when something in a body is getting hard, we label it sclerosis or fibrosis or cirrhosis. Okay, those are all like takes on the same theme of hard. And for example, arteriosclerosis, the hardening of blood vessels. We kind of attribute this to a calcification problem. But then we can have a cirrhosis of a liver. Now this we attribute of hardening of the connective tissue and in the liver. And same is with fibrosis of lungs. When you see the white strings, those are hard fibers of protein, connective tissue. Now, why are they hard? Well, we know it's because they're dehydrated. But just talking about this kind of a process on names, sclerosis, cirrhosis, fibrosis, it means something got hard. But in multiple sclerosis, this has nothing to do with anything being hard. It's actually something that affects nerves. And that's when myelin coating starts getting dissolved. Now, the only thing where I should think that they mix this and do it sclerosis, so name to it, is because it's a type of a disease that affects already a very sick individual. It's usually elderly people that you find these chronic problems. And this is also a chronic problem. This doesn't happen overnight. And since other systems are deteriorating, and then the nervous system shows malfunctions, okay, let's label it with this. So, what is actually multiple sclerosis? Let's check it from the mouth of these experts. Okay, so here we have it from experts that multiple sclerosis is a damaged protective cover around nerve called myelin in your central nervous system. It can cause multiple weaknesses, vision change, numbness, and ta-da-da-da. Okay, so overview, what is multiple sclerosis? Well, we just said it's a damage of myelin, as they say. And what is myelin? Well, what is myelin? We can check here. We have a better explanation. Myelin is a mixture of protein and fatty acids that makes up the protective cover around the neuron, about around the nerve cell. Okay, now they call it combination of fatty acids and protein. Now, what do we call combination of fatty acids and protein? We call it cholesterol. So why don't they say cholesterol? Well, because we have a drug that fights cholesterol, and usually people that have a problem with a depleted myelin, they have a high blood cholesterol. So how does that work? You have a lot of cholesterol in one area and not enough where you actually need it, and then you take statins to decrease production of cholesterol. Well, aren't you making it worse for the organs that need cholesterol? Yeah, too many questions. We don't want to be talking to people that have not been conditioned, who are not doctors. They have not been brainwashed in this, so they may actually think. So we just give it different names and we make a little mess out of it, and everything will be fine. Okay, so now you know that myelin actually is cholesterol that is accumulated around the neurons like a plastic shield over electric wires, so the electricity does not leave the wire. What myelin is actually, it's isolator. Okay, so now when we are talking here about myelin, multiple sclerosis, okay, So what types of multiple sclerosis? We don't want to go into this because all this is a nonsense anyway. What are the symptoms of multiple sclerosis? Fatigue, clumsiness, dizziness, difficulty with bladder regulation. Not only bladder regulation, you have difficulty also regulating your colon, loss of balance, difficulty of cognitive functions, okay, mood change, muscle stiffness and muscle spasms, tremors. Well, do you feel normal, or can you feel have better days and worse days? Of course, you can have great days and then all of a sudden you go in a slammer. Well, how can that happen if the cause of this is depleted myelin? This doesn't change in matter of hours. Okay, so, okay, too many questions. They don't want questions. They don't want questions. This is not good. What causes it? Okay. The immune system job is to protect your body from things that harm it, like bacteria and viruses. With multiple sclerosis, your immune system becomes overactive and stupid. They didn't say it, but I'm just filling in here, and mistakes healthy myelin as something that has to be attacked and destroyed, a threat to the body. Your immune system attacks the myelin. Can you imagine this crap, your immune system? Well, number one, immune system does not exist in the way we are being told. This is all crap science. I don't know how can you believe in this crap? Okay, and who are the people that most likely will be more susceptible? Smokers. They are toxic. Toxin exposure. Secondhand smoke. That's the best you can do. Or pesticides, okay? Okay, low levels of vitamin D. Yeah, let's blame it. Let's find exposure to Zumzula. You see this here? This here is Zumzula. And you receive things against Zumzula. Obesity during childhood. Obesity. Are you supposed to be full of cholesterol? Okay, genetic predisposition, of course. Your genes make you stupid and trigger your immune system to attack itself. I'm surprised they didn't put alcohol makes you stupid and attack itself. Okay, complication of multiple sclerosis. Yeah, more complication. You basically can become a stiff, unable to control anything in your life, become sedentary. Sexual dysfunction, memory loss, depression, anxiety, and gets downhill from there. Now, they give you tests. What do you need tests for? You go to doctor because you have a problem. Doctor listens to you, and according to what he hears, he tells you, well, you probably have this and this, because in multiple sclerosis, you are going to have these symptoms. Okay, fatigue, dizziness, loss of bladder control, difficulty of controlling your muscles, mood swings, loss of memory, blurry vision, foggy brain, all that crap. Okay, and treatment? Well, what is the risk factor? On the other side, I learned if you have been assigned female at birth, morons is being called female, not assigned or disassigned, ladies will have, why? Statistics. We go to statistics. We didn't know jack crap. We go to statistics. Okay, complications of multiple sclerosis. Well, we just mentioned them. Those are the symptoms. They are the complications. And if they are worse, okay, they are more complicated. Okay, you know, I really cannot go through this and go step by step because it just drives me bananas. How could we could have been so stupid to believe in this crap? Once when you start opening your eyes, waking up, all this becomes just transparent. You know, I cannot look too long on these sites with all this science, because the more I look at them, the more stupid I am becoming. And this is purpose. This is the purpose of our indoctrination. You know, sit in those benches and keep memorizing and spitting on demand. And when you did a lot of memorizing and spitting on demand, you get diploma and you get your license. And do as much harm as possible, license protects you. Nowhere is it as explicit as when we talk about multiple sclerosis, because the symptoms are of chronic so-called diseases, and now these symptoms are happening in younger and younger people, including children. Myocarditis, elderly people would occasionally suffer from it, then more and more frequently, and now you have it in children. After Zumzula was attacked through poking, this is the carnival of stupidity. And no, we have to expose doctors. Unfortunately, I'm one of them. But no, we are waking up, and as your vision clears, as your mind clears, then you cannot believe yourself that how could you believe in some nonsense like this? Even when you talk about these things, I mean, there's so much there. So, what is multiple sclerosis? Well, you know. Why did it happen? Because the body became toxic and dehydrated. And it became toxic because it started being dehydrated on circulatory level, blood level. Why? Because we switched our diet from animal-based diet to strict vegetable diet. Stricter you are with vegetables, less minerals you receive through your diet. And then on top of it, we have been fooled by soyence that salts are our enemy, that we should keep away from salt. Number one, it's from a rock, it's mineral. It cannot get absorbed, it harms you. Only salts which are in the plants can serve you. But then only herbivores that only eat green plants are the ones that need the supplementation of salt the most. So how does that work? It's like an onion. Stupid, 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 stupid. Until the very end of it, it's all stupid. And you have to peel so many things before you finally get to the very center core, the seed of truth. So, meat, animal, cannot survive without being properly mineralized. And not only with sodium, potassium, chlorine, and I don't know, calcium, but we have 90 different minerals in the body. Same as we find in the sea salt, in the sea ocean, in sea water. So, well, we actually need to maintain our salinity. Our body is salty inside. Our blood contains about 9 grams of salt. Every time you urinate, okay, repeating, I'm repeating and repeating and repeating like a broken record. I should have a button and and just blow it out. Because when you finally have the whole picture, you don't look at the box. You peel away from the boxes. You look at the whole picture. You'll realize that the reality is built on sacred geometry, of which crystals are physical, three-dimensional expression of, and crystals are what salts are. Okay? The body is basically ocean. Most of the body is plasma, is water with minerals. And as we are getting lighter now, vibrate higher, we are getting more and more liquid and light and more hard matter. We are cleansing this hard matter out. And this also makes us awake. We are peeling these layers of deceit. So, if you went to doctor to be checked, you didn't feel well, and if you felt chronic tiredness, and then irritability, problem of deteriorated vision, you can even have facial nerve problem, twitching eye. I had twitching eye when I was in a primary school, when I changed schools and got a professor of math that was very old lady, very, very strict and demanding. And I was dyslexic, so I was mixing numbers. So I had a hard time with her. And just the kind of fear of being laughed at because I mix numbers, and this old lady with a stick, made me very nervous, and I got twitchy eyes. I couldn't control nerves. I got chest pain, symptom of anxiety. As a kid, I don't know, I was maybe 10 years old. So now, as we get older, we got more dehydrated because the liquid in our body is not water. You cannot hydrate your body with water. Even the water that you would produce would not stay in the body unless you can back it up with minerals, because your body has to be electroconductive. We are electronic robots. Remember this. There is no such a thing as biology of live and dead matter. It's only physics of frequencies manifested as a dream state. But physicality as such is our concept of observing and trying to make some kind of a understanding of what we experience without being disconnected from the central consciousness that would tell us what is what, but then we would not have the same experience because we would be changing it whenever tough gets going and going gets tough. So we have to look at everything from the broad spectrum, not from a box. Religious people will never understand the spirit correctly. They will only understand it from an aspect of their religion. I'm not saying it's bad, but definitely it's not good, because we should know the truth. Now, this friend, whose friend got multiple sclerosis diagnosis, is concerned about her. And of course, she had one or multiple of those symptoms. This is why she was diagnosed with this. And these all symptoms are caused by dehydration and toxicity. If your body is dehydrated on a circulatory level, it does not have enough plasma to eliminate toxins. Well, a lot of these toxins could be also emotional. Toxin is out of tune frequency. And frequencies, depending on their frequency and on the programming, are going to be manifested through your robot as a sensation, sense of smell, taste, touch, pressure, pain, or through light, which will be particled into particles to create pictures. Emotion is also frequency of electromagnetic wave that is manifested through sense. You sense it, but you cannot pinpoint it. Pain, you can sense, you cannot pinpoint, you cannot measure it. There is no device that will measure if you are in pain or not in pain. But it's a frequency. So if we can develop such a sensitive mechanism, it will capture the frequency, but we still will not know if it's pain until we amplify it and send it back, and then it hurts. Okay, so this is the frequency of pain. And then depends where pain is, it's going to be different frequency. Once when the body is already in this deteriorated state, it is difficult to bring it back, but not impossible. And bringing it back, we call it healing. Unfortunately, doctors have no clue, sorry for this, doctors have no clue what healing is, because they don't even understand what disease is. They know symptom, they are being told cockeye stories about these symptoms, so it's all upside down, they have no clue what to make out of it, and they go to medication and suppressing a symptom. You have this symptom, this medication will suppress it. Pop. You have this symptom, suppress it. At the same time, they're poisoning you and increasing the toxic load on the body. So if you have any of these symptoms of any kind of a disease, in this case, multiple sclerosis, well, number one, you have to detoxify and you have to hydrate. To hydrate, you need plasma, you need water and salt, because body will not hold water, it's not electroconductive. Body is electroconductive, electrical robot, electronic robot. It's salty inside for that reason. This is why we have salt in the blood. And no matter how much salt you take, if you take water with it, your body is going to calibrate the salinity and eliminate surplus. So more salt you give it with the water, you have to provide it with the water, so this way it can eliminate surplus. And it will calibrate it, and the level of salt in the blood remains the same. Now, the thing is that it is sometimes confusing, because salt you can also use to dehydrate the body. And I made a video on it, how you can use salt as diuretic. And some of my clients are doing this to control the detox of their body. Because what happens when your body is toxic, you start drinking plasma, your blood is dehydrated, that's why it's thick. Blood starts getting hydrated, volume increases, and it starts cleansing, starts eliminating toxic elements and surplus through urination. If it's higher level of toxicity, through diarrhea, and if it's even higher, even through skin. And quite quickly you can hydrate and cleanse the blood. 3 weeks, blood will be clean enough for your cells to relax their membranes and actually engage the osmotic pump. And when they start offloading their toxins, of which many are acids, well, you have in one moment extremely, extremely toxic blood. You go in septicemia. Now, cleansing abilities of the body are limited. So cells will release way more toxins into the blood that your body, that your kidneys and your mucosal tissue and your skin can eliminate in a short period. So what happens? What they cannot eliminate will get stuck in your peripheral tissue, in your subcutaneous tissue. And then as you are hydrating, then you are increasing also the level of lymph. As the lymph is going through this tissue, becomes toxic, and by the programming, it is not allowed to go back into blood because it will make it overly toxic. It can cause death. So you start actually getting accumulation of toxic liquid, which we start calling, which we professionally, we call this water retention. Now we are blaming water retention of too much salt. Most people with water retentions are elderly, chronically ill, that are for years deprived of salt. So they could not be cleansed. Toxins were getting stuffed, and now the lymphatic circulation becomes obsolete. It cannot go through, because as soon as lymph goes into this toxic tissue, it becomes so toxic that it's not allowed to join back the blood. And it stays there. And unfortunately, a lot of my clients, because again, you have to understand that majority of my clients were people that no one could help, that were chronically very ill, very toxic. They tried everything and anything and nothing helped, or helped marginally. So now they are here on the last leg. And when this very toxic body starts receiving finally plasma, well, the system, as I say, body is not smart. It's not intelligent. You know, if it would be intelligent, it would realize, okay, I'm going to squeeze this toxic liquid that I'm retaining, because now fresh plasma is coming, so I'm going just to squeeze it out and get rid of it. Well, it doesn't do it, because it's running on programs. And program is programmed. You know, this reminds me on some of the clerks. You go to clerk with questions and you need to resolve something, and then the clerk just tells you, well, you have to do this, 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 and this. And if you say, well, I cannot do this and this because of that, can you help me? No, you have to do this, this, and this. It's like having a robot there. I don't know why they have clerks. They should have put a machine on there. Okay? Same as the body. It's like a machine. It cannot work with your mind and say, oh, okay, I'm going to do this because we'll play it out, we'll squeeze it out. No, it's programmed like this way, and screw it. So we have to work around this programming. And there is a way to do it. This is why I say that chronically ill people or medicated people should have guidance. And, you know, if you have this buildup of liquid, you can use diuretic or you can use salt. Take a larger amount of salt, make a stronger plasma, and don't drink anything to make concentrated amount of minerals that body will have to eliminate. And it will, the program will calculate and say, wow, it's worse to having this concentration of mineral in the blood than to squirt this toxic liquid from retained tissue, retained liquid, into the blood to provide this plasma to eliminate this excessive amount of minerals which are really toxic. So you play with medicinal remedy, in this case salt, a huge amount of salt, that is going to force drawing of the liquid from your tissue where it was retained and being eliminated. And as soon as you break into urination and diarrhea, then you can start hydrating with a milder plasma, not with water, never with water, with a mild plasma. Let's say 5-6 grams of salt per liter. Just to still maintain some kind of electroconductivity, but you already have a lot of minerals that you were taking earlier. So there is no problem. But you suppress, or you don't add additional load to the stuff that you have to eliminate. And again, if not enough liquid came out, if there is still a lot of retained liquid, repeat high salt concentration, and after urination and diarrhea, maybe multiple diarrhea, when you are really very thirsty, but you already are eliminating, well, then take a little bit, because you help bringing the liquid that will be used to push the other liquid out. Action, reaction. That's what it is. Everybody should start following self-healer's protocol for one simple reason. Because it's dirt cheap or free. If you don't want to pay for it, or you really can't, just send me an email, I'll send it to you. Costs you nothing, or near to nothing, and follow it. The only thing that protocol tells you is how to eat correctly and how to hydrate correctly. And then if you have read my articles, or if you read my book, The Owner's Manual for the Human Body, then you will understand exactly the process that body is going through. So you will understand your symptoms. Because symptoms are triggered completely from different reasons than what we are being told. Okay? You'll know. So you have to watch about these things. My wife is starting singing around, so I think she has enough of me gibbering here. It is very simple. Healing is very simple, only we are not simple. We have all kinds of beliefs that we have to suppress, because the truth is completely contrary to everything we know. And because of this, people are afraid. Oh, I have to drink plasma, I have to take salt, but I'm hypertensive, doctor told me no salt. I know it's going to destroy my kidney. It's all you know. Everything you have been told is contrary to the truth. Everything doctor tells you is contrary to the truth, because doctor is indoctrinated. He has no clue that his knowledge is worth deadly squat. It's actually harming you. That's why I call doctors 007 agent with license to kill. We are trained as James Bonds, because we are trained to support the system controlled by people that want depopulation. So what more do you have to know to start understanding the predicament in which we are? Follow cellular's protocol, and I guarantee you are going to heal, no matter what ails you. The only problem is that you will have symptoms, and depend how toxic you are, and depend on your state of mind, emotions. The healing could be long, could be short, could be strong, with strong symptoms, mild symptoms. But as long as you understand symptom correctly, there is no fear, because fear is big no-no. It draws out the energy. You need energy for this process. More in the fear you are, the less energy you have that your body requires for hydration and detox. It's very energy demanding, and this makes you also tired, especially when you are highly toxic. As toxicity diminishes, the energy starts coming back, because you will need less of it to continue with the healing process. If anybody needs guidance, on my site I have several people ready to help you in different languages. And again, I'm also available. So don't be shy, but get rid of fear, get rid of soyence, start understanding that doctor cannot help you. It can help you only with symptoms. So when your heart is giving up, when you are almost dead, then they can do and manipulate symptoms and revive you. But heal, they have no clue because they don't know what is wrong with you. Because everything they know is culprit unknown. Thank you for listening. God bless us all.